Okay, good morning everyone. So I'm gonna still continue the lesson from chapter 9, lesson 7, integration of rational functions by partial fractions. Yeah. So actually I have taught you the basic of how to integrate rational functions using partial fractions. And remember, I'm gonna review that the first thing that you need to check is whether the degree of your numerator is less than the degree of the denominator or not. Yeah, if it doesn't happen, if it's equal or greater, then you need to perform the long division. Yeah, if you forget, you can see the previous video. And then after you make that sure, then you can resolve this into smaller fractions. Yeah, using the method, you get the A and the B. After you resolve it, then it's easier to be integrated. Yeah, I hope you still, I hope you understand that. Now, the thing is, it's not always that simple. That it's can be the the degree of the numerator is not always quadratic. And even though it's quadratic, it doesn't mean that it's always factorable. Yeah. So there will be two cases that I need to teach you, and you need to understand how to split it into partial fractions so it's easier to be integrated. Yeah. So it's actually written on your book, page 462. Look at your book, page 462. Yeah, page 462. The last paragraph. In problem set 9.7, you will practice integrating by partial fractions. You will also find out what to do if the denominator has unfactorable quadratic factors or repeated linear factors or even combination of both. Yeah, so there are two special things and it can be combined. Yeah, so the first one is what should you do if you have unfactorable quadratic factors. Yeah, for example, 7x squared minus 4x over x squared plus 1 divided by x minus 2. Yeah, realize here that x squared plus 1 is unfactorable. It's already a prime polynomial. You cannot factor it into another factors. Yeah, it's already prime polynomial. So what you should do if this happens, then still you can split it into two smaller fractions. Yeah, but the difference is instead of just using A and B here, which will not work, yeah, you must put the assumption that it can be factored into the fraction that the degree of the numerator is 1 less the degree of the denominator. So in this first fraction, the degree of the denominator is second degree, right? So you need to put ax plus b. So the degree is 1 less, yeah? And this is x minus 2, so the first degree. So what you need to put here is just a constant 0-degree polynomial, yeah? Instead of b, let's use another letter, c. It's supposed to be another letter, yeah? So the next step is the same. You just need to find the ABC. So let's perform the addition of your fraction, x minus 2, and then c x squared plus 1, right? So it's equal to ax squared plus bx minus 2ax minus 2b plus cx squared plus c. Yeah, and then get of the x square, I have a plus c, and then get of the x, I have minus 2a plus b, and then the constant is negative 2b plus c. Yeah, and this is 7x squared minus 4x. This is x. Yeah, 7x squared minus 4x. Yeah, so again, like I said, the coefficient must be the same for each common term, must be the same. Negative 2a plus b is equal to negative 4, and there is no constant on the left side, so it's equal to 0. Yeah, it means that from here I get c equals to 2b. So from here I will get a plus 2b is equal to 7. Well, let me write it on the side. A plus 2b equals 7, and this is, if I multiply by 2, I will get negative 4a plus 2b is equal to negative 8. Yeah, and then cancel, eliminate the 2b, so I will have 5a equals 15. So a equals 3. If a equals 3, then the c is equal to 4 and the b is equal to 2. Yeah, so actually this one, 7x squared minus 4x over x squared plus 1 x minus 2 can be factored into ax plus b over x squared plus 1 plus c, which is 4 over x minus 2. So if you want to integrate this, you just need to integrate this and integrate this. Okay, so that's the first example. And if you want to continue, then this will be equal to 4 times ln x minus 2. And how about this? Then this is actually something that you have learned in the previous method. So this is a binomial square. So you need to use trigonometric substitution method, which is x equals to tangent theta. Okay, so I think you can do that by yourself. I will not continue this example. You can solve it by yourself. Okay, so that's unfactorable quadratic factors, and usually for in unfactorable quadratic factors, you will need to use trigonometric substitution method to solve one of the fraction, and especially it will be the one that is unfactorable fractions, yeah, unfactorable factors on the denominator. Okay, now the next one is, what if we have repeated linear, or I'll just say repeated factors. It's not necessarily linear. Okay, and I take the example on your book page 464. What do I have there? What I have there is actually x squared minus 4x plus 18 over x plus 4 x minus 1 squared. And then I want to integrate this. Yeah. And by the way, I have made sure that actually the degree of the numerator is already less than the degree of the denominator. Yeah. And this is also right. This is second. The numerator is second degree and the denominator is on the third degree. Yeah. Remember, if it's not fulfilled, you need to perform long division first. Yeah. So what if you have repeated factors like this? Then what you need to do is to split it into the total number of the factors. So in this case, actually there are 3 factors, right? Which is x plus 4, x minus 1, and x minus 1. But in this case, x minus 1 is repeated. So it's like 2 times 2 times 3. It's like 12. 2 times 2 times 3. Yeah. So if you want to resolve this into partial fractions, then the rule that you need to follow is to do the same way for the single factor, but for the repeated factor, you need to start with 1. Yeah. And for example, just for example, if there are 3 of these, then you need to add 1 more, which is x minus 1 power of 3. Yeah. And for example, again, for example, if there's 2 of this, so it's x plus 4 square, x minus 1 cube. So there will be 5 fractions, and then the other one is x plus 4 square. So it's always following the repeated powers, yeah. So x minus 4 square, so you have 2, x minus 1 cube, you have 3. Okay, I hope you understand that. So let's undo this and let's get back to the original problem. Okay, so in this case, if you have done this, then it's okay because it is not unfactorable. Yeah, this is even though the denominator is 1, even though the denominator is a quadratic, a second degree, you don't need to put cx plus d. You don't need to put 1 degree lower than that because it's repeated factor, so it's on the special condition. So you just need to put c instead of cx plus d, and that's fine. Yeah. So what's the difference between this one? The difference between this one is the factor is unfactorable. It's not x minus 1 being squared. It's x squared plus 1. Yeah, that's why you need to put ax plus b of x squared minus 1. But for this one, because it's repeated, x minus 1, x minus 1, so you just need to put c. Okay, I hope you understand. And then the same thing, x squared minus 4x plus 18, make the denominator equal to perform the addition. So it's going to be a x minus 1 being square, right? Because it's x minus 4, it's needing x minus 1 square. And then the b is needing x plus 4 and x minus 1 to make it this. And the c is needing only x plus 4 to make the denominator this one. Yeah, be careful. Okay, so it's equal to a x squared minus 2x plus 1, and then b x squared plus 3x minus 4, and then cx plus 4, c. So if I do the distribution, ax squared minus 2ax plus a plus b x squared plus 3bx minus 4b plus cx plus 4c. Yeah, and then get of the x squared, I have a plus b get of the x, I have minus 2a plus 3b plus c, and then the constant I have a minus 4b plus 4c. Yeah, so what I have here is a plus b equals 1 minus 2a plus 3b plus c is equal to negative 4, and then a minus 4b plus 4c is equal to 18. And then you need to resolve this. You need to find the solution for a and b and c. And then, yeah, let's do it together. Fine. Let's do it together. Multiply by 4, multiply by 1, so I will have negative 8a plus 12b plus 4c equals negative 16, and then this is a minus 4b plus 4c equals to 18, and then I perform the subtraction. Then I will have negative 9a plus 16b equals negative 34, and then multiply by 9. I have 9a plus 9b equals 9. Addition, I have 25b equals negative 25, so b equals to negative 1. If b equals to negative 1, a equals 2, yeah. A is equal a is equal to 2. Okay. And then 2 plus 4 plus 2, 4c is equal to 18. 6, 12, c equals 3, yeah. Am I right? Yeah, c equals 3. So basically, this one, the integral of x squared minus 4x plus 18 over x plus 4, x minus 1 being square dx, can be resolved into integral of 2 over x plus 4 dx minus integral of 1 over x minus 1 dx plus integral of 3 x minus 1 being square dx. Okay, so then it's equal to 2 ln x plus 4 minus ln x minus 1. And then how to integrate this? This is actually negative 3 x minus 1 power of negative 1, yeah. This is a power function. Remember, this is not ln, yeah. This is not becoming ln. This is a regular power function. It's easy. It's 3 times x power minus 1 power of negative 2. So the result of the integration is this one. Am I right? If you derive, yes, it's right. So it's equal to 2 ln x plus 4 minus ln x minus 1 minus 3 over x minus 1 plus. Okay. Now, like I said, what if there is the combination? What if you have something here and the denominator factor is like this? X minus 4 square like this. Yeah. So it's a combination. There is an unfactorable factors, unfactorable repeated factors. Yeah. So it's treated the same. It's gonna be split into 4. X squared plus 1, x squared plus 1 being square, and then x minus 4, x minus 4 being square. But also it has to follow the rule when it is unfactorable factor. So this is supposed to be ax plus b, but this doesn't need to be a third degree, but this can be just cx plus d. Yeah, even though this is a fourth degree, but because it's repeated factor, so it's just need to be cx plus d. And then this is e, and then this is f. Yeah. So that's all for today. Now I hope by these 2 lessons you understand how to integrate rational fractions, rational functions by resolving the rational function into several smaller fractions. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.